What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is all about pressure washing, forever self-employed, and Quote IQ. And we're here today. The Core 4 has assembled, and we've come together because we have to share a very important message today. We got to talk to you guys about why everybody that you know is poor. What's up, you guys?
What'd you say, Mike?
Not broke as fuck.
But in all seriousness, I would say being poor is an epidemic in this country, and we're poor from a lot of different levels, mentally, physically, emotionally, the whole thing. So in today's video, we're going to kind of break down some of the psychology, why you guys are poor and everybody else you know is poor, and so that way we can break free of the mold and, really take a hold of our lives, essentially. We do want to tell you guys, we're doing a one-on-one coaching program. We started up a new coaching program with myself, Mike, and Aaron. It's over a few weeks, and essentially it's extreme accountability. It's us diving into your business, and it's us giving you the keys to the kingdom with regards to scaling your wash business into multiple six figures. So if you guys are interested in that, check out the first link in the comment section and the description. You guys want to share anything on this new program?
I'm just excited about it. We are diving into some things that we have really never kind of shared or had the ability really to convey in a way that we think was of value. But we spent, I don't even know, 6-9 months kind of refining and honing what exactly it is that we are going to be, talking about in this. And it's a very, how long is this one?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we had some different coaching structures in place. We found that this would be better because we would be able to look guys in the eye, talk about their business and things of that nature, and really help people move forward in their business. So this is for people that are super serious about growing, and we wanted to offer the highest level possible. Like I said, no holds bar, all the secrets, everything that will accelerate your business from 0 to multiple six figures in your business. Right, Aaron?
Right. And we know that this is not for everybody, right? This is for the select few that have the ability to really invest in themselves and their future more so than what we currently have, right? There is a lot to offer beyond that. But again, this is not for everybody. There is a process that you have to go through to apply. You're going to get vetted. We're gonna set up a strategy call with you. We're gonna get to know your business on that call, and then we're gonna go from there. So we're really excited about it. The first one starts on Monday. So we're gonna just help some people grow their businesses and really achieve that next level of success.
Absolutely. Aaron, you want to share any words about it?
Yeah, so everybody knows here on the call, here watching this video, that ranking at the top of Google is paramount. I've kind of been known to do that. And Cody, I'll plug that in. I've been known to do that for the last 5 years. That's kind of my claim to fame, right? Is that I built my business and I knew the utmost importance of SEO and ranking at the top, mainly to collect those free leads, those big commercial leads. Yesterday, I had a company call me wanting me to clean the first 9 floors of a building downtown. And Ben, I sent that lead over to Ben. But it's I get these type of calls all the time for $30,000 to $150,000 jobs between apartment complexes and all this stuff. And the reason is because I rank at the top of Google. So that's what I've been known for. And I've never shown those secrets. Never have. And I kind of told Mike and Justin, Cody, I was like, I never will. Why would I give away my superpower for free or close to free? That's never going to happen. Most SEO guys are like that, but they talked me into it, when we were developing this coaching program. And before we developed this, Cody called me last year and wanted to kind of put some octane on the Southeast Soft Wash site. So a lot of you guys have probably noticed, if you're in the Southeast Soft Wash Facebook group or some of these other, or you're just searching for soft wash equipment or surfactant chemicals, we 4 or 5x'd the revenue on the e-commerce website. So I want you to think about how much you thought he was doing, and I want you to think about 5 times the revenue when it comes to those. And that's all through Google. Okay. Very, very little Google ads is ran through here. It's all organic, all through Google. So I'm going to be sharing that in this coaching group. I'm going to be giving away my one sheet, basically. Go here, do this, giving away his secrets. So I'm stoked about it. I know I'm kind of almost castrating myself in a way, but it's going to be fun. I'm stoked to give this away to those people who are interested in really taking a high-level course and investing in themselves. Mike is going to be sharing something that's really amazing. Mike's been in the business for 20 plus years now, and he's developed a system for closing these big jobs. Mike will show up and, get out of the golf cart, and he has a framework on how he approaches these apartment complexes, big TPO roof cleanings, industrial cleanings, and how he's closing these $30,000 to $150,000 jobs by simply meeting with the person, asking the right questions, getting the right information, giving them a price. And Mike, I'm gonna let you fill this in, but I've watched him firsthand do this. He almost has like a way of creating a force field kind of around his estimate so that like no one else can even really bid on it. I've watched him close 60 to 70% of these jobs using this. And it takes years, guys, to develop this, but Mike's going to be giving that away. Mike, do you want to fill in kind of a little bit on what you're going to be talking about in this high-level program?
Well, yeah, I think you touched on it quite a bit. There is definitely a method to achieving success in your close rate when you're talking about these big jobs like Aaron is talking about, multifamily, industrial, big commercial jobs. You have to understand what they're looking for. You have to understand the right questions that you need to ask these people, understand who the decision makers are, understand how that workflow goes as far as from quote to, assigning the job to a particular company. And if you understand these things, and if you have the questions, in your pocket that you need to ask, basically to shore up the fact that you're going to, be either the first or second guy that they're going to consider. I assure you that if 3 guys go to give an estimate, I'm always going to be in the top 2. If there are 10 guys, I'm always going to be in the top 2 because I know what to ask. I know what to look for. I know what to point out. I know what the pain points are, and I know what the questions are to get the answers that I need in order to ask the questions that I ask. I also know how to basically answer every single objection that can come my way. I know what these people are looking for. I know what their jobs are, and I know what bothers them and the things that I can do to eliminate some stress in their lives. And then I focus on those things. And then once all that's complete, I get a lot more information than probably anybody else does because I know how to dig it out. And I get information that puts me in the driver's seat where I'm really able to kind of determine, exactly what I want to quote. And I'm not worried about being underbid. I don't care what anybody else is bidding. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a number based on the information that I have, which is very, very good information. And I'm going to present the quote in a way that conveys not only our professionalism, but our ability to get the job done, get it done quickly, exceed expectations, and make everybody's life a lot easier. So those are the kind of the things that I'm going to focus on, and I'm going to teach you guys. It's basically a 3-phase formula that I use, and it's taken a long time. I've let millions of dollars go by the wayside because I didn't know this stuff when I was first starting out. I was getting the calls. I'd done my SEO. I had the lead flow, but I wasn't really as focused on what it is that I do now that basically is, it's my little superpower, if you will. And that's what I'm going to share. So.
Okay, perfect. We had Jose asked, where can I get a link? It'll be the first link in the comment section and the description of this video. It is an application. We're only working with a very select few amount of people. But like we said, if you want that high level accountability, if you want that one-on-one coaching with us face-to-face, check it out. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this video. So like we said, the title of this video is Why Everyone You Know Is Poor. Cody, I want you to kind of lead on this a little bit, man. And, give us a good analogy. You're like the best with analogies that I know.
It's the old Baptist coming out. So, everybody literally in Roanoke is poor. So people don't like people getting called poor. But look, the first step to realizing or changing your situation is kind of realizing where you're at. And we're talking about poverty mindset, really. That's what we're talking about. So give you a good example, guys. Our local PD, we got new guns. And so we got, new G45s, and everybody's got to go out to the range and requal. Okay. The FBI standard qualification is super freaking easy. I could probably pass it like with half an eye closed. It's not that hard, but a good majority of our department struggles. And these are guys that are, 10, 15-year cops. So we got these big boxes of Glocks, brand new, in their little Glock box. Okay, I'm not a huge Glock fan, but I can shoot them. So we go out to the range and we set them on these picnic tables, and everybody's requalifying on these new guns. And so I can pick one up and shoot it and put them all in a hole. A couple of other guys there that are good shooters that practice a lot, that have put the work in. There's one guy there that Aaron knows. This guy, he's almost a mutant. He'll pull a 25-yard on a B8 target in 0.98 seconds from a retention holster. Beep, ting, and he's hitting like consistently at 1.2, and he can get down sub a second, which, if you know anything about what I'm talking about, is like an anomaly of anomalies. It is extremely hard to do. But, running this course, their groups look like this at the end of the course, and you've only got to get it in this bowling pin shaped, torso kind of head shaped thing. So the target's pretty big, but these guys are running it in their entire 50 round is in this. You start at 25 yards and you work in. Some of these other cops, we're about a third of the way through qual, and this happens every time we qual. My gun is shooting low and left. We had a guy out there drifting his sights with the Glock tool. He's pushing the front sight to where it's literally hanging off of the edge of the gun. Okay, there's your sight's like a peg, and it's got the front sight. It's got the dot on the end. So he's drifted it to where there's front sight material hanging outbound of the slide. It's shooting low and left. Now, a lot of our guys in pressure washing are shooters. So if I say a gun is shooting low left, you should know like that's almost a joke. It's a meme, because why does it shoot low left? If you're a right-handed shooter and you push out and you recoil anticipate, your dominant hand is right, so you can't to the left because you're anticipating recoil, and you also push down because your brain is subconsciously knowing there's about to be a boom. So professional gun guys, if you ever hear anybody say this gun shoots low left, it's almost a bumper sticker. It's a meme, because it's not the gun. So we got this guy, and he's like, yeah, this one's shooting low left, and he is struggling to qual. And so we take the gun that's brand new, just took it out of the box, walk up to the 10-yard line, put them all in a hole that big. Lay that gun down, go back to the picnic table, take another one, cut the seal, take another one, go up to the 10-yard line, tick, 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 put them all in a hole that like less than $50. Lay it down, grab another one, tick, tick, tick. Imagine the arrogance to think that this factory that's made millions of these products has not figured out how to put sights on a gun yet. I give you that story because it is a perfect analogy for guys like us, blue collar guys, right? We will, and really everybody, but we will blame the gear knowing damn well it ain't the gear. Like it ain't. How come this guy can take the same gun right out of my hand and put them all in like a laser beam, but I pick it up out of the pack and I think something's wrong with it? It's not the tool, it's the operator. And so what we really wanted to talk about in this call is that's an analogy. So let's end that story and pick up where are we at in this world? Is it, from my perspective, it's the skid, right? It's the trailer. And we have a ton of guys that struggle with that stuff. We had a guy who's in the inner circle. He's a good guy. He knows I'm not beating up on him, but just picked a mini skid up 2 weeks ago, having all kinds of problems. Come to find out, they were putting straight surfactant in, not diluting it. Well, it says that on the side of the jug. He felt like, duh. They still having more problems. They brought it back to the shop. I said, just bring it down here. We went over it. Nothing really wrong with it. It was just operator error. And he told me, he was like, I know it's something we're doing. I just don't know what it is. Here's the difference. He's at least self-aware enough to understand that it's probably him, and it could be the gear, but it's probably him. So we need to take that mindset. If you want to not be poor, here's your shortcut path to staying poor. Blame everything else. Blame the ad strategy. Well, this ad strategy don't work. How much you spend? $20. Well, you're stupid. This skid don't spray. Well, how old your pump? It's a year old. Well, throw it away. Get another one. That's wore out. This quote IQ ain't worth it. Well, you see what I'm saying? Postcards don't work. Well, you put out 20 of them. Well, and you just keep going to the end of it to where all the tools that you have, it's easy for us to blame the tool because that gets us out. It's hard to say, I suck at this thing. I suck at, Mike was just talking about sales. I've watched Mike close. We're sitting at dinner and Mike turns around and in Mike's way closes a very large apartment complex job. Why? Because Mike's learned the tool of sales. If you suck at sales, you can't just say, well, this market's oversaturated. No, you just suck at freaking marketing and closing deals, right? Because somebody in your market is making money. Somebody's Glock shoots. How come mine can't shoot? So that's what we wanted to really dive into in this video is personal accountability and understanding that if other humans are out there doing it, they're just humans like you are. And if you've got the same opportunities in the same regional marketplace, the same equipment, you can make it work, but you're never going to make it work if you want to blame everything else.
Exactly. So excuses will kill you. That's the reason. I mean, what happens when you talk to your family members, right? Well, it's the boss. It's my job. It's I didn't get a raise yet. It's, I didn't have the right family, or like my parents aren't rich. It's everyone else but yourself. So why is everybody around you poor? Because they point the finger. Everything has systems, everything in life. And if someone else can do it, you can do it as well. And that's why we put together that high-level coaching, and that's why we wanted to talk to you guys about blaming other people. I do want to give a quick shout out to Reggie Bryce. He said, "What's up, fellas? Get some rehabs on me."
One of the things that I think contributes to there are a lot of mindset things, psychology behind your financial situation, right? Whether you're poor or whether you're just in a spot right now that it's more difficult to get ahead. And I think one of the biggest things that I see, because we get a tremendous amount of feedback, emails, messages, people are so focused on the immediate result, right? People go into this and it's a short-term thinking thing, right? I think short-term thinking keeps people poor. It puts you in a mindset where, again, you're blaming everybody but yourself, and ultimately you're responsible for everything in your life, regardless of what it is. So there are things that happen that suck and that can put you behind and make you, but you got to pick yourself up and you got to keep moving forward. You got to stop blaming people. But I think with the short-term thinking, right, where your immediate goals are what the entire focus is. And guys get into this business and they're like, I bought a pressure washer. I'm not making any money. This market sucks. My marketing sucks. I've done this and I've done that and I've done that. And just like Cody said, this is a long-term game. This is a long-term strategy. This is not something that happens overnight. And what I've seen is that hinders people's ability when they're only focused on the immediate, when they're basically they're working to pay their bills. They're working to, like, guys that have to get paid for this job today in order to work tomorrow, in order to have enough money to put in the SH, to put in the gas, to get to the job, right? To have the things that you need in order to perform. When you have that mindset, when you're in that space, it hinders the ability for you to actually improve. It hinders your ability to get better, to invest properly in your education, to invest in the right equipment, to invest in your marketing, the things that are going to put you ahead. And that's why I urge people to not jump in immediately. Sometimes there is a time and a place where you don't have any other choice. You have to start now, and it is going to be a day-to-day thing. But if you have the ability to educate yourself, to learn, to set yourself up for success, don't be reliant on the first job to pay for the next job. Don't be reliant on that first job to pay for your rent or to pay your truck payment or whatever the case is, because that is a recipe for disaster and you're going to fail every single time. And it is because of a lack of planning. It is short-term thinking. We have to think about the long game. And so I'd kind of like to hear what you guys think about that, and some of the things that we can do as business owners to set ourselves up for success with having a little bit in the reserves. And my dogs are going to bark.
AP hit him, man.
I always like to think like this. Cody and I talk a little bit about, product development, right? We came out with the Batch Buster. But a lot of guys, we come out with a bunch of stuff, right? A lot of guys never see the product. They don't see when the idea is born and the R&D. Batch Buster took 2 full years. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, you good.
Okay. Batch Buster took 2 full years of R&D. Never mentioned it to you. Testing. Oxnox. Testing. Tested in every single facet possible. You know why? Because we start off, when we start a project, we assume it ain't going to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you got to begin. You got to begin like, I'm looking at a woods, like a thicket, down in Alabama where they clear cut and then it grows back and it's just like thick, that's where I grew up. All right. Grew back all thick, just vines everywhere. And I got a machete. And this is how we look at everything that we undertake, whether it's starting your pressure washing business, whether it's developing products, whether it's your marketing and your SEO. I'm just going to start chopping. I kind of know where I'm going. I know that way is west. Okay. That's about as much as I know. I know there's something on the other end of this woods, and I'm going to try to just chop my way through. And eventually what happens is you start learning how to sharpen your machete, right? You start figuring out little openings in the woods, right? Little places where you can start investing some money into SEO. You can start, making things work for you. Maybe Google Ads. You start figuring out that your region hits well with Google Ads, but you got to spend over $1,500 a month. If you spend $1,000, it's a waste. But when you spend $1,500 or more, it unlocks the algorithm because no one else is willing to spend that. So it pops you to the top. These are things, but if you never spend $1,000, you're not going to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
See, some of y'all people in general, the world, are never willing to come off of that. Here's how they do it. They never roll dice because you're taught against that, right? They never place an educated bet, which is a business in general, right? Guys, you're not over here like, well, I'm going to buy a bunch of Jordan shoes and I'm just going to sit on them and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. They ain't going to make me no money. I'm going to buy a PS4 and I'm going to play the hell out of it. No, dude, this is an investment. This is a business. So I need you to kind of like change the way you think about investing in it. You need to be willing to invest thousands. Even if you don't have it now, you need to be getting ready to gear up to invest thousands to test and have it not work right off the bat, because the data you get from it not working is worth more than the entire population going through college ever gets. College teaches you hypotheticals, broad spectrum hypotheticals, theories. Business teachers in college, most of them never owned a business.
Wild as hell.
Wild as hell. So it's like the $1,000 you invest down the line that didn't work, right? The $1,000 that didn't work on the Google ads is worth like $50,000 in knowledge. The knowledge compounds, but most people never willing to do that. Never willing to lose $1,000. You're not losing it. It's going back into your mind. You're checking data points. You're saying, okay, next time I get another grand, I'm dumping it. And I know a few guys like this who've come through the inner circle. One is Mike Turman. That dude is an animal. He's rabid. Todd Ketchow. One of my favorite guys is Marco Hilby. Marco has an amazing story. Marco, I don't want to tell it all the way, but Marco almost went to jail at one point. Dude rebuilt his life. Now he is like complete implementation. You tell Marco to do it, dude does it. God, no question. Bam, bam, bam. He's going to go out. Marco will walk the streets, knocking doors, closing deals all day long. Most people are not going to sweat. Too hot outside. Okay, well, just, I don't know, be broke. I don't know what to tell you, right? Like, it's funny. I equate this to God in a way. I talk about this, but it's like I believe God has a sense of humor. And I think he wants to. I think he wants you to get what you desire when it comes to prosperity and being able to take care of your family. That's a natural. I mean, it's written, the story of the talents, right? But I do believe there's going to be tests. And the cool thing about the story of your life is that the tests are always going to be in your biggest fear. See, growing up in Broke, Alabama, man, my biggest fear was like how much gas costs. Bill Clinton at the time, for some reason, I was scared of him. And also like losing money, because money don't grow on trees. And it's like, okay, well, this call, we're trying to reverse that type of thinking of losing money. Now it's an investment. Cody, how much did we invest in the whole first version of Batch Buster that we just threw in a ditch?
It was over 100,000. It was
$100,000. Take the money in cash in a duffel bag and burn it and start.
Here's the bring it back to your analogy to the is perfect. It's exactly what you're saying. What's the difference between my guy out there, Tyler? I don't care if I use his name. I've got footage on my phone of him being a Jedi with a gun. What's the difference in Tyler and the 7 or 8 homies carry on duty? This is their job. If they can't qual, they're pulled off the patrol car and sent to remedial, and they're a 20-year veteran. What's the difference in those two? Is it the Glock? Well, we proved it ain't the Glock, right? Here's how we prove it. Here's how I've taught shooters before. You go out to the range, and they are all over the place, right? And I'll do this sneaky, like they don't even know what I'm doing. I'll load them up a mag, give it to them. They'll run a mag. I'll load them another one. Well, about that 3rd or 4th mag, I've got a snap cap about 7 rounds down in there. A snap cap is a dud. And I'm videoing them from the side. I'm going to video you. We'll just try to diagnose what you're doing. Pow, pow, pow. When they get that snap cap, it looks like this. Click. See, the recoil was hiding all of that data. We put that snap cap in there. They get a click. Now their brain just said, it is me. I suck. Because until that moment, they believed wholeheartedly that it was something wrong with this thing, not this thing or this thing. It was in the device. What's the difference between Tyler and one of those guys? It's that Tyler goes to about 10 to 15 classes a year, and he pays for it on a cop salary in Alabama. He travels. He's at a class right now up above Birmingham. He's coming back today, and me and him are going to do some stuff tomorrow. Dude listen to what I'm telling you. He's burning his vacation time to go to a training. He's already good. He's already an SRT team leader. He is in Birmingham, Alabama right now, away from his wife and kids, burning his ammo that's not cheap. He has spent, I know last year he told me he shot about 35,000 rounds of 9mm. Well, it says expensive. How expensive is your life if you get in a gunfight? See, but we don't want to waste the money on bullets. It's not waste. You're getting better every time you do it. I'll tell you guys a mind-blowing statistic. My local city, you want to guess how much money they budget for ammo per year for training? Justin, take a guess.
$1 million. I don't know. That might be crazy. That might be way too much money, actually.
$2,000 per year for a department. My town's 8,000 people. It ain't a huge town, but we got 15, 18 cops. There's shifts, 4 shifts, 2 weekday shifts, 2 weekend shifts, several on duty at all the time. There's 6, 8 cars riding around all the time. So you got a good little group of guys here. Okay. $2,000 per year, because we don't want to waste the money. Well, when something happens and you can't, if there's ever an active shooter at the local school, you better hope me or him or him or him goes over there, because the rest of y'all are liability, because you don't want to spend the waste of money. No, it's not a waste of money. It's a calculated bet. And even if you don't get better today, if you don't see, like Mike's saying, instant results today, you're getting results over the long term. And a year from now, that's why we say year 2 hits different, because if you do what we say in year 1, year 2 will hit different, because you've honed your craft. You figured it out. You sent rounds down range. And maybe they hit, maybe they don't, but at the very minimum, you're learning what you're doing wrong and you constantly refine it. Here's the thing about gun handling and everything else in life, business as well. It is a perishable skill. You have got to stay about it. Now, 3 years ago, I shot 50,000 rounds in about 2 years, and I learned how to ride the bike. Now, I don't shoot as much. I'm busy, and I'm not as good as I was, but I hit a level that I really can't go back down from. I kind of hit this. Now, if I don't go and practice, I won't stay up here, but I'll come back to about here. But at least I ain't here. Now, some of you guys that look, you don't have to want to make $50 million. That's fine. Some of you guys that want to run a lean and mean outfit and make, $250,000, $350,000 a year with 1 or 2 trucks and a helper, you got to at least get to that plateau so that maybe that's where you want to live. And you're understanding that you're not trying to go for $5 million a year because you want the time with the family, but you're never going to get to that or beyond if you don't send the rounds down range. Look at your money as rounds down range. That's what this is. These are just, I got $22 in my wallet. This is rounds down range that we get to throw and see where they land and collect data. And then the next time we throw, it's a little bit more accurate.
Boom. Yeah. I was going to just double down on that. So like anybody who's like, hey, so do I need to buy a gun to make money? No, this is actionable. The shot is basically the actions in your business, the marketing, the follow-up, the sales, and then where it lands on the target is essentially the result, right? So if we're able to monitor, you need to put things in place to monitor, but essentially
it's everything, right? Like me or Mike, we could be running a rig and we can hear a difference in the way our pressure washer sounds and be like, something ain't right. That 12 volt don't sound right. Right. We're seeing things like here at Southeast. It's amazing to me. I'm almost like omniscient. I'm like, a truck just pulled up. Somebody gonna go unload that truck? Oh man, truck out there. How do I know that? Well, it's because I give a damn and I've sent the money down range. So by God, I'm looking at the target to see what I did, right? They're just kind of in there, and I've got great guys up here. But they're not seeing the big picture. So the more you do this, the more you care about it. Like even on the job, guys that struggle washing, right? That I can do 6 jobs a day in no time, or some guys can struggle to do a job a day because they're not using the job as data for leverage for the next job. Or a lot of dudes, what we see more than that is a lot of guys only focus on the actual washing and they don't think anything about the back end. And that's what Justin and Aaron's side of the house and a lot of systems and stuff like that. So you got to have a balance of both things, right? You got to know when to shoot. That's the decision to break that shot is just as important in lining up opportunities and things to shoot at. But then when you get there, you need to know how to shoot. Those are the two balanced sides of the equation.
I want to bring this comment in. Success is inevitable if you don't quit. Stay hungry, stay motivated, keep learning, and don't be afraid to fail. Recently, in one of our businesses, we hit a ceiling that we thought we didn't know where to go. We had tried multiple things. You guys know we implement a lot of different things into our businesses. We teach you guys a lot of different things, and we follow the same principles that we teach you guys. But essentially, we didn't know what to do. And Einstein basically is a saying that the mind that created the problem cannot solve the same problem. Something like that. Do y'all know exactly what that saying is?
Yeah,
the same mind that created the problem. Wait, go ahead, Mike.
I don't know what the saying is, but I know what it means.
Okay, but essentially, though, the same mind that created the problem cannot solve the problem. We had to go outside and seek another perspective and somebody who is not – you basically get these blinders on, right? So if you've ever reached a point in your business where you kind of hit a ceiling in a way, you need to bring somebody else in that can remove the blinders. And now we're starting to make new strides in our business. So I completely agree. It is good to – don't quit, stay hungry, stay motivated. But if you don't implement new things and you don't keep learning from people that are at higher levels, you will always run up into this ceiling, and you can only motivate so much, but you got to unlock, new ways of doing things.
There are 2 prime examples. What you're speaking about right now, where we invested, it was like $10K just to have a meeting with this guy and kind of initiate where we were going. And a lot of people that are watching this are like, holy shit, you guys paid 10 grand just to talk to somebody to see if it would work. And yes. And Mike from 5 years ago, 3 years ago would never have ever done that. But what I have learned and what I preach is, in order to achieve more, you have to, exactly what Justin just said, you have to get outside help, outside guidance. Justin and I, as you guys know, we have been working on Quote IQ for a very long time. We've invested tremendous hundreds of thousands of dollars into this app of our own money, right? We had no outside funding. Everything was self-funded. And with that being said, we knew that there was more to this than we knew. We didn't know what we didn't know, but we knew that we're not tech guys. We're not, in Silicon Valley. We are in, I'm in Georgia and Justin's over in Louisiana. And there's a lot of stuff that we don't know, right? We know what we wanted the app to do. We know how we wanted the workflow to go through the app. We know a lot of what was going on, but there's a whole backside to all of this. And I'm not talking about the technical backside. I'm talking about the business side of things. And with that, we found a guy who built a software system, and he sold it to Intuit, who owns QuickBooks, for, what was it?
$30 million.
How much?
$30 million.
Yeah, $30 million. And then he took that money, and he obviously had a lot of fun, but he also leveraged that into more businesses. He is involved in a lot of new things. But this is somebody that I would never have access to, right? I couldn't just find this guy. Who would know who this guy is? But I found a way to get in contact with him through this service. And we had to pay like $1,000 for 30 minutes of his time. And this dude sat down with us, and it was mind-blowing. And it also, unfortunately, kind of showed us that there was way more than we didn't know than we did know. Which was both good and both bad. Now we know the things that we need to focus on, the things, where we need to drive the ship, and how we need to steer it a little bit better. But we are investing, just like we're telling you guys, if you want to succeed, if you want to get better, if you want your business to grow, if you want to scale, if you don't want to be on the truck for the rest of your life, if you don't want to be getting bleach in your eyes and sweating every single day, right? There are things that you can do systematically throughout the day, throughout your business, that are going to allow you to achieve that, if that is what you want. But you have to be willing to invest. You have to be willing to take a chance on yourself. Like, bet on yourself. How many people are going to bet on you besides yourself? My guess is probably not a whole lot. So that's my little 2 cents on that.
And then I just want to share one other thought with regards to this. Mike is somebody who is right here making this video. But Mike, do you have guys out there washing right now that are making money for the wash business?
Yes.
Right. So like in the beginning of the video, somebody commented and said like, why are we all poor? Because we're not out washing right now. Well, Mike's not poor. Mike is sitting here doing a live. He's running other businesses while he's also running his pressure washing business, making money. You know what I'm saying? Like Cody, the
and I'm
same
really
way.
not poor. Like really not poor.
All you guys are is one coaching program speaking to Mike away from learning how to run a business without being there. Look at Cody. He's showing the whole deal here. Yeah.
And what he's showing is Cody is up there running other businesses, because there's more than just Southeast Soft Wash. And all of those guys are down there, and they are producing, they are creating revenue. And Cody doesn't have to be on the ground turning a wrench to be a profitable business, right? And so, and by no means are we suggesting that this is the route for everybody, right? And I can't remember, I think Cody said it, like, you may be happy running a lean and mean machine with one guy, a couple trucks, and making,
some of my guys out there are making nearly $100,000 a year, and they freaking love it. And I love it that they love it, and they love it, and I love it.
Right.
They've traded. I was up here at 11 o'clock night before last too, doing some shit that they don't even know about. Right. And some of that's for them to have job security in the future. So I got to do me. They got to do them. They've traded. It's a calculated trade. What good would it do for 8 of those guys that can't shoot to go hang out together at the range? They don't know dick about shooting.
Yeah, there's a saying.
They're going to get confirmation bias. Well,
it don't work.
You can't shoot. No,
that's what happens in these Facebook groups, man, where all these people start chiming in on all the things that don't work, and it's just like this pool of negativity just swirling about.
What Cody just said reminded me of a saying, and we've mentioned on some of these lives before, where it's, if you're the smartest person in the room, get the fuck out of that room, right? Because if you're the smartest, there's nothing to gain. And I've never been the smartest guy, in every single room that I've been in.
How many
But
people? Go ahead.
when I do find that I've kind of reached that limit, that's why I'm with these guys right here, right? Because they push me, they make me better. Aaron called me today about just with this idea, and I'm like, holy shit, I never would have come to that conclusion by myself. Or how long would it have taken for me to get to that point, right? But that's why it's so great to surround yourself with people and to be surrounded by the ability to invest, to educate. Those are the things that are going to sit like that alone today. That's the one key takeaway. Aaron came to me with something that was absolutely brilliant. And in fact, after I got off the phone with him, I called Justin and told him. And again, how long would it have taken me to come to that conclusion that Aaron just came up with and called me to tell me about? And it goes the same for something as simple as the how to wash training, right? Like, yes, you can go out there and you can watch YouTube videos. You can get in these negative, toxic Facebook groups and get shit on for asking what ratio you're supposed to spray on a tile roof. But you can also invest a tiny amount of money into something that is going to give you everything you need, every tool you need to go out there and tackle anything for this specific little industry that we're in, how to wash, right? Or you could waste a ton of fucking time. And I'm not allowed, am I allowed to cuss on this? You're allowed to waste, you will just waste a ton of time.
YouTube's going to be pissed.
Save a couple bucks. What's it worth? What is your time worth, right? And if your time isn't worth anything, then go away. Don't watch us again. Unsubscribe. Bye-bye. You're a loser. You're always going to be poor, okay?
Okay, I want to say this. Aaron did something brilliant. He created a smart lazy matrix that basically says the smarter you become, the lazier you can inherently become as well. However, the dumber you are, the less lazy you can be, because essentially you're going to have to rely on all of your... You're doomed
to all of the back work of it all.
But I just want to say this. It seems as though the people that are the smartest people, so you got a guy like Scott here, making $50K a month, 3 trucks, running regularly, but have 5, got to take the risk to expand or it won't make it happen. This is a guy that will invest in the coaching, that will jump in the one-on-one group and will try to find the pieces that he's missing. And when you might go, well, he's already got 50K, but he put himself there because he's always done it. He's probably always got the information. He's probably always paid for the course. Guys that are super successful look for the cheat codes. They look for the people that have done it. They meet with those people. You know what I mean? And they get it.
Well, you could buy a pallet of ammo and go waste it, or you could buy 2 cases and pay Tyler $500 for a Saturday, and you'll be really good in about 3 of them Saturdays, right?
That's
so,
bro. That's profound.
What are you going to do? Like now, Tyler's, I'm fixing to change his life, but he's too good-hearted. He'd go out there and help you for free right now. He's a Jedi. He just don't know that.
Yeah, we go with Tyler. Price got to go up.
Right? I mean, people would want to call here every day and, hey, I need to talk to Cody. You ain't talking to my ass. You ain't talking to me. These other 3 guys don't have a physical landline, so they can't get to you. But they still try. They try. They hit the podium. So here's my question: If the teacher you seek was easily found, is he a good teacher? If you'll go out to the range with me for free, by default, that means you're not a fucking Jedi.
You ain't gonna listen.
You're just a Padawan with Jedi clothes.
Hey, to further that, Cody, who's the first to give you business advice? Somebody who ain't never ran a business in their whole life. And what is that worth?
It's worth what you paid for it.
That's right.
Right. So you always they're talking about this new thing that we're venturing into with these people, that we're trying to expand our horizons, and it costs $1,000 for 30. Why? Because if it didn't, it wouldn't be worth your time. But see, you're trying to default to the poor. Well, I'm poor. It's a vicious circle. Because you're poor, you can't afford, so you can't afford, so you're poor. At some point, listen, here's what aggravates me about it. Aaron's talked about this before, is everybody that says they can't afford it could put their hand on $5,000 worth of stuff in their garage that they could sell and get liquid and invest it. It's just, that little piece of shit John boat that you use 3 times, throw it, get rid of it, take the money and go and do something that's going to change your trajectory, right? Because all those guys I know that can't shoot, they all got like 11 guns. Well, hell, sell 9 of them and take the money and buy some ammo in a class, and I'll be damned. You can hit stuff. What you gonna shoot 11 guns and you can't hit nothing with none of them? I'd rather have one that I can shoot. And okay, once I may buy 11 more in the future as a collector. But what are we trying to do here? Are we trying to get good at a skill? Are we trying to make money? Are we trying to? Is it a business or is it a hobby? I ain't interested in hobbies.
I want to bring in William's comment real quick. I took y'all's advice on upselling windows. I sold a roof cleaning for $750, and then windows as well, upsold to $1,600. I just want to say this. We give away a lot of great information online. We love helping people. We love seeing you guys' success stories. But just imagine the value in the one-on-one coaching. We give it all away. So if you guys are interested, check out the link in the comment section and the description. Apply to be on these coaching calls with us, because we're going to give you all the good stuff. So if you think something like this is good, just wait until you jump in there. This will be killer. Right, AP?
You know, man, I think it really takes, at the end of the day, it takes being aware of the knowledge gap. This is something that I've tried to hone over the last 5 years. And it, you know, for as many people that say that I'm cocky or I'm arrogant, I'm pretty cocky. I don't think I'm arrogant implies that you're kind of dumb. To the whole, I'm cocky, but I'm not. I'm aware of what I'm doing. I do it on purpose. I talk shit on purpose, but I think being aware of the knowledge gap requires you to humble yourself, and that's why I've seen a lot of successful guys that I hang around, guys who have way more than me. They're all cocky, first off, but they're all very humble in the same breath. Now, this is going to go against all the Southern teaching that you've ever ingested, because how could a humble guy also be cocky? Well, he's humble when he's aware of his knowledge gap. What is the next piece of knowledge that I have to gather in order to get to the next place I want to go? And that's something that I've really tried to dial into over the past 5 years. I got pretty good at it, to where I have like a lens where I'm like, all right, I'm stupid here. Like, I'm dumb, and I either need to, and then I'll weigh out, do I need to learn it? Can I learn it? You know, for some stuff like, hell, man, like coding websites, bro, nope. Aaron's brain don't work like that. Aaron's brain, it's immensely hard. Like, it is so hard. But then I also say, I either learn it or I can buy it. All right. I do the weight. I weigh it out. I say, well, do I need the skill? I don't think so. I can buy this. I'll pay premium for it to be done right. Pay it out. Boom. If I need to learn it, then I'll invest in a class. I'll invest in an event. I'll pay to learn it, because I know that it's something that I need to know, or it's personality driven. Like Aaron is going to be in front of the class. Aaron's going to be in front of the camera. Aaron needs this skill, right? Long term. Then I'll pay again a premium to learn and implement the skill into my toolbox. Okay. And so I think the big thing is being aware of your knowledge gap and humbling yourself. Look, I'm all for every one of you guys on the call right now to walk out of this call with your chest out like you're the shit. Like, that's what I support, man, because you are the shit to your family, to your wife, to your little boy, to my little boy, dude. I am the shit. And he'll tell you that. My dad's the best. I want to be like my dad. And every single one of y'all's kids, if you have kids, he feels that way. So you should stick your chest out for something like that. But you also, at the same time, dad is aware and he is humble in what he doesn't know. He can see the next piece of knowledge he needs to grasp. Does it have a price tag? I want to tell you, pray it has a price tag, because if it's ambiguous, shit, bro, that's going to be a tough day. You want to find somebody who says, hey, man, I'll give you this knowledge for $6,000. At least there's a packaged box of knowledge to buy, because then you can juxtapose it versus, all right, well, that's like 3 roof cleanings or 4 decent sized roof cleanings, or that's 1 commercial job. I can relate that. Like I can make that happen. But think about this. If the knowledge gap is unpurchasable, where do we look for? This is something Cody and I talked about. It's like, if you have to search forever and no one knows the next piece of information that you need, you're in trouble. The best case scenario is that there's someone out there who's willing to sell you the years of mistakes.
Yeah.
Omit years of trash and say, this is the good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Only do this. Write them a check. And we do this all the time, dude. I mean, I wrote the biggest check of my life this past month. And you know what it was? It was saying, all right, you want to talk shit? All right. This is God to me, right? So I envision God talking to me. He goes, all right, boy. You think all right, let's see. Put your money where your mouth is, AP. Write the check. You know what I had to do? I always have this when I have a new opportunity. I find the knowledge gap. I know that it's there. I know it's a good bet. It's always going to come down to this day of being a good entrepreneur. I wish I had my wallet. Here's what a good entrepreneur does. He takes out his credit card, okay? He takes out his credit card and he swipes the credit card and he pays. And that's what I did. And I wrote the check. Why? Because you know why I tell you guys to write the check? It's for you. I'm telling you, I'm ministering to you for sure. But I'm also ministering to me. I am speaking to you so I hold myself accountable to my own personal development of writing the check. At the end of the day, I can't sit here and tell you to do it and me not do it. And so it just happens that my checks are much bigger. But it didn't start off that way. Okay, it started off with 3,000, 5,000, boom, ROI. Cool. Be a good steward of the money. Duplicate, multiply the talents.
Yep.
All right. Find another check, $10,000 check. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
All right, good. Be a good steward of the money. Multiply the talents. Find the knowledge gap. $15,000 check. Boom, boom. $20,000 check. Boom, boom. Be a good steward of the money. What's the next opportunity? You see, and you're just expanding outward, but I would challenge you to find a way to write bigger checks. Find a way to, when you sit in that moment of the opportunities in front of you and you feel the resistance, right? You feel the little southern broke pull. You'll feel it. You'll feel it. It's in you. It's called anxiety. It might tighten up your gut a little bit, you know? You're like, oh, shit. You want to say, this is too expensive. That like knee-jerk reaction. You gotta stuff that down. Because at any of these moments on these checks that I've written over the last 5 years, on these innovations that we've created, a lot of y'all don't see that backstory. You just see the product. You see after all the testing. You don't see all that investment. You don't see all that time. But I will tell you, big checks have been written to innovate. But every single moment, there comes a day. All the thought comes together. All the plans come together. Comes to a point, and it says, you ready to write the check? That's what it comes to. And you know what you got to do? Take your little pen out, click it, sign your name, and give it to the guy. That, my friend, is how you change your life.
Why is everyone you know poor? Ask everyone you know what the biggest check they ever wrote was. And they might tell you college. I don't know why people think that like college is this magical investment that's going to like return all this money when there's much,
everybody teaching the class in college is poor. Their professors are poor. They're driving a Subaru.
The dean's poor.
If you driving a Subaru,
poor.
Don't talk to me, bro.
Never ran a business in their life.
Never ran a business. Now look, if you're a multimillionaire and you sleeping on me with a Subaru, that's different. But I'll be able to smell it. But a lot of guys, they sit at the pulpit, they wear, their little khakis and their polo, and they got the little projector. They want to talk about entrepreneur, and he living in a regular little dink house, and he's 60, right? Like your times. Come on, man. He ain't got no life savings. He drove a Subaru to get here. I'm trying to learn from millionaires. I'm trying to learn from multimillionaires. And every single one of them will tell you, take your checkbook out. You'll feel it when it's the right opportunity.
Yep. When I bought this building was for sale. I could have kept renting a building. I had to write a check.
Gee.
Well, we're buying pressure washers from this place, but I got this guy here. His name's Richard. He's like a freaking guru of pressure washers. He wants to come work with us. It's amazing. Well, you know what? They ain't nowhere for him to work. Got to build a mezzanine.
Just for him to stand on.
Well, it's hot as hell in here, and it's even hotter on the mezz because it's 20 foot in the air. I mean, it's like 95 up there. Richard's going to die. Got to air condition the building.
She write the check. And all of these things, Cody, expound on the fact that a mezzanine technically
is bullshit.
Google that. It don't make you no money,
It
right?
don't make any money.
Air conditioning don't make you no money, right? It's not like it's not investing into marketing. It's like you can't even see direct ROI. That shit's just creature comforts, man.
We're expanding the chems. We ain't know where to put them. Got to pour pad out back because it's gravel and the forklift gets stuck 3 times a day. Got to pour $25,000 concrete pad. Got to put some racks up. Now I'm fixing to enclose that back area. There's another 30. There's $55,000 out back to put chems. But meanwhile, the guy's like, I ordered a sample of ox knocks.
Guys, I want to ask this question,
dude. Our last chemical order, we always have 2 or 3 POs at a time from our chem plant. $65,000 for one PO. Why? Because you have to have it to move it. It has to be here. Like these are all. It's easier for me to see here because you can look at it. Right. It's harder with the marketing. It's harder with the training. That's truly that moment when you put that snap cap in and it dips. That moment is invaluable because you just learned, holy shit, I didn't know what I was doing for the last 10 years. And I was walking around telling everybody, yeah, I shoot pretty good. I rode down there, pop all at the creek down there. Can't hit a damn thing.
How many DMs do you guys get a day asking what equipment should I use? What chemical should I use? How do I pressure wash?
For the last 3 years, it's to the point where I can't even have a personal Facebook page. I don't have the luxury of having social media like everybody else uses. You guys know the same thing. You can't even have it because it's every time I lay it down and pick it up, there's 76, right? Aaron knows I don't have email on this phone. Don't want it. I got it on a laptop downstairs. This was this laptop because it just is with the territory, but everybody wants a free Yoda. You want Yoda, but you want him to be free.
If they messaged you and said, I want to pay you $500 for 30 minutes real quick, and you were willing to do it, I could teach you in 30 minutes how to make $5,000 off of that 500, but they won't do it. Cody, give me the secrets through DM for free.
I don't need to. I already have a monster rehab. So I don't need any free. It would take a lot, and that's why what we're telling you guys is we have to do the same thing. We've got to search out people that it costs money because those same people are successful at this level. So to get them to stop and talk to me, they're losing money. So it's just a math calculation. Their time is literally worth X. And if your time is worth 0, that's okay. Understand that currently your time is worth nothing. But don't stay there. Start expanding your horizons to where you are leveling up the food chain, right? The same people that we pay for coaching and to open our eyes to the possibilities, I guarantee you they have a guy. And that guy's got a guy. And somewhere you get to about Bezos and Musk and Larry Ellison, the guy that owns Oracle, you get to that level. You get to Branson level, right? They don't talk to nobody. But below there's a hierarchy. And it's not that. We had a guy the other day, mad as hell, picked up a mini skid last October, coming up on a year. Got something a little weird going on with the motor. I was like, dude, it's a year old. Take it to a service center. Go to hell. I don't know what to tell you. Well, I can't believe y'all won't help me. We fucking can't do that, dude. It's a year old. It's not that we don't want to. Out of our country ass stupidity, we would sit down there and talk to him. But it's a business math decision that if we're doing that, we'd have to either charge you or we'd go out of business, and you don't want to pay because you feel like you bought something in 1920. They're still supposed to help you. All right. We can't do that. So guys, you need to understand that there's levels to this. And the first level, if you want to break out of poverty and being poor, is to understand where you're at. It's literally to have that snap cap moment where you punch out and you see yourself do that, and you say, God dang, now I know what I got to work on.
Yep.
Is everybody? Maybe my stuff is dropping? Am I dropping out a little bit?
No.
I can hear you.
Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay, for some reason, Mike is refreshing, and then y'all are frozen on my screen.
I'm always fresh.
You're fresh, Mike.
Always.
Always fresh.
Anyway, okay, so it unfroze. I completely agree. The funny thing you'll notice is you are not that much money away from some information that'll absolutely change your life. Me and Aaron did a call with a guy, and he does the videography for Hormozy, for Grant Cardone, for some of the biggest names that you would ever hear on YouTube. You're one person away from like some connections that you don't, even know. So
You better come off with some money. You want to talk to him though. Hey, I'm telling you, y'all got a great deal for $30 million, cat.
I think
$1,000. If I was sold my company for $30 million, I wouldn't talk to nobody for $1,000.
No,
Don't go to hell.
The cool thing, the cool thing about this guy is we paid for 30 minutes, and dude, what were we on? We were on for like 2 hours. The dude loved us. And then he sent me an email the other day with some more information. He texted Justin. Like, this guy is worth a tremendous amount of money and has so much knowledge, but he just kind of dug our vibe. He dug what we were doing. He loved the fact that we were YouTubers who were leveraging some of that, into something else.
Yeah.
His current tech company he has investors like Kevin Hart, Kevin Durant, like movie stars. And so
Elon, this guy was talking. I was saying something because he was very, very thoughtful in his answers, right? And in fact, I think Justin said, like, dude, I love how like we'll ask him a question, and then he would just sit and ponder for a second, and
he told us to wait. He said, "Yeah, let me think about this for a second."
And I was like, this dude's just riding the clock.
He sat there for like 2 minutes.
And then he delivered what he was going to say. And Justin said, I really appreciate you being so thoughtful in your answers. And he goes, well, I just want to make sure I deliver. But also, and then I said, it reminds me of this interview I saw with Elon Musk, where the interviewer asked him something and he just sat there for like a really awkward amount of time and then responded, because he's thinking of every possible outcome of what he says and how it can impact him. So he wanted to be very thoughtful in what he was going to say. And the guy says, oh yeah, Elon's a trip. And we were like, Elon? He goes, oh yeah, we have dinner with him a couple times. And I was like, that is so cool. And he goes, oh yeah,
Wait, Mike, he's so going funny. Out, or is it me?
That's you. He said that he thought it was funny. He said, yeah, we were at dinner with Elon, and I was like, hey, Elon, do you really want to go to Mars, or are you just effing with everybody? And he said, Elon just looked at him and smiled, gave him a smirk.
Going out left, right. Can y'all hear me? Fuck, I don't know. We're gonna wrap this because my shit's going out. I think I can't tell.
I can hear him,
Justin.
Yeah, no, I think it's just you, Justin. I think. Yeah, he's frozen.
He sleep.
This is the best. Boom! Justin's asleep and can't talk.
He sleep.
That Baton Rouge Wi-Fi, cuz.
The P-Rogue.
You needed a troll, bro. I've been trolled so many times for Wi-Fi.
I got a damn crawdad with an antenna outside. In a P-Rogue.
In the P-Rogue.
Oh, I gotta end this. Fuck my shit.
Justin. Right, he's frozen again. Yeah, so we'll wrap this up.